Right, let me just hove interview. Oh, I'm purring already. Oh, so, I went angel card reading last night. I had seven people. I was really fucking anxious in the afternoon because this is a pub. Do you like the socks? Aren't they? Aren't they? Because it was a pub, I think. Because like where I used to read them before, it was a pretty much a hippie shop. They wouldn't call themselves a hippie shop, but most punters would call them a hippie shop. Kind of. Well, you know, they sell a lot of Buddha-related stuff, basically. So it was a right environment to get the sort of people who are into that kind of thing. But I had a skeptic. It's the second time I've had a male skeptic who introduced himself as a skeptic from the start, but was willing to just go, oh, right, I'll just try it. And he, yeah, I was good. I was accurate, and he was impressed. It was, you know, I was telling him enough about himself from just turning cards over that he was impressed. So that was good. But there was quite a few sort of times when I was a bit, because there was a lot of normal people around, and I looked like this. So, you know, like I've said before, when you look like this, you just get a barrage of questions about anything. Why are you doing that? And it's just, I don't know, I just always get to that point where I just think it's gonna get all, do you know what I mean? It's like, there was a guy who said, where have you been? He thought I'd been working somewhere or something. He's like, what's all the clothing about? This is just my clothes. I was like, I dress like this all the time. And his missus loved it. His missus loved, she was like looking at my nails, all sorts. And they're going to come back for a reading. So it was all good. It was like, whew. I think with the anxiety, I just kind of did what I do with a lot of my other stuff. It's just like, yes, of course you're fucking anxious because you're an anxious twat. That's what you do. That's what you do, is be anxious. So just be anxious fucking then. And I was. I was, but you know, like everyone says you can't see it. Everyone says you can't see it. And you think they can. Look at these boots, by the way. I have just got them from the army shop. They're going to be transformed with neon glow-in-the-dark paint as of tomorrow. I have ordered the paints, thereupon that shall be painted thus upon these fine boot-leased steeds, upon which I stomp. And I've got, and my laundry's not up to get that, but I've got enough clothes that I can start doing that next week. My room's alright. I'm studying this afternoon. I'm going to train as well. I've got no kind of overhanging things specifically. I do need to get on with looking for somewhere to live. So I've got like 2 and a bit weeks left, so I need to crack on with that over the weekend. And maybe crack more crackingly on next week, depending on how it goes. But I should expect a positive outcome. Because I deserve it. I'm special. I haven't done that one for ages either. But I am very special. So deserveth it. I very do. But yeah, it was nice. It was a bit overwhelmed by it, to be honest. It was like 4 on the bounce, and like they're supposed to be about 15 minutes, but I talk. And people do as well when you're talking about that kind of stuff, and you know, to the heart of the matter stuff. They get really focused and interested, and they keep asking questions and discussing it. So I think most of them were about like half an hour. But people were waiting, so it was like, well, if it's gone that, I was really surprised. Because I used to work in a shop about 30 metres away, 40 metres away, something like that, and it would be very slow. I'd very often have none at all, or have a bit of interest, a bit of a chat to someone, and they say, oh, I might come back. I'll come back later. I had a lot of come back later on this afternoons that never came back later on in the afternoon. ever. No, he is a Scroungington for the fuss at the moment. He's very much my friend. He scratched me in my last video, didn't he? I don't know what was up with him. He's very rude. I think it might have been because I went, so fucking what, mate? And I was quite, and he might have felt the energy of it and just got scared. Or it might have been that I leaned and I squashed his tail, because he floppities his tail like that. He likes he likes having it resting upon me, and it'll be like just next to my leg, resting against my leg, and I won't realise, and then I roll over and I grind it into the mattress. So it might have been that. But then, like, all of yesterday, he kept being all lovey-dovey, and he did that thing in the evening where they wake up, but he just literally purred himself awake, and he like leaned up against me, did all his Porrington things. Yeah, he's all lovey again, which is nice. But yeah, it was like a just sort of taste of normality. I spent an evening's work. I was there for 4 and a bit hours, something like that. Like, because my friend came down, she wanted a reading, so she came to the pool and was waiting for me. And I was like, nice one. And so then we just sort of chatted, and I didn't realise there was a couple that she'd been chatting to, and they were already waiting. And so we got on, I just gave her a long reading because she's a mate. And then there was this couple waiting. Oh my god, sorry, I didn't realise you were waiting. And so he'd heard about it last week. So, like, you never know, do you? Like I said, you never know. You try these things, and it pretty much couldn't have gone better, other than I could have fitted another 2 punters in if I'd have been a bit shorter, because the ones that are coming back next week. So I could have done 9. So that'd be, if I have a few of those here and there, as well as some other bits and pieces, you know what I mean? It all mounts up, doesn't it? It all mounts up. That's what I want to have, is lots of little irons in lots of little fires, not just doing angel card readings, but doing all the other shit I do, and then doing some other different shit as well that I'm going to do. Doing lots of shit that I will do to do the shit I do, to get the shit I get, or whatever. I don't fucking know. I can't help thinking that there was something else that I've been thinking about. What was it? There was one this morning. I'll see if I can try and get it back. And what was it to do with, Mikey? I don't fucking know. Shut up and let me think. It was to do with... It was to do with paradigms. It was related to the one, basically. It's not the one, but I'm going to just talk about this one to see if it spurs my jog. And now I've forgotten that one. No. So, basically, another example of a paradigm is when people hear something other than what you've said. That's why I always say I need the words that mean things, not different words that don't mean things. So when someone says, I've got mental health issues, what someone else hears is, I'm making it all up. Or, I want a free life. Or, I live on benefits. Because those are the responses that they respond with, or respond to, when someone says they've got mental health issues. It's always a tut on an eye roll and whatever. And, it is to do with, I really think that a lot of this shit is toxified purposefully into society. At this point, I must just say, it's fine. I'm schizotypal. I'm allowed to think paranoid shit. Believes in government conspiracies. Well, I'm not saying it's a government conspiracy, but something has been put in our society that it's like encouraging everyone to grin and bear it, and that's what toxifies people. How is that a supported argument by so many people that the only thing to do is just shut up and put up with it? And that same society is scratching its head saying, why are so many people killing themselves? And they think they don't know. And I think, how can you not know? But that same society that encourages people to speak up punishes people when they do, in the nuts and bolts of it. Because that's another paradigm, is going on about myself. How many times when someone says anything to do with that, They say, you know, I won't go on about it. There's that invisible thing that people just don't want to be. But that's what keeps people sick. That contributes to it. There's a fear every time I talk about my mental health. I think, here we go. Snippy comments, awkward silences, weird averted eyes, two people looking at each other and making faces, thinking I haven't spotted it. That's not social anxiety anymore. That's just people being wankers. That causes social anxiety. That's what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the few that ruin it for the many or whatever, because some people literally do bleat on, this is not my fault, that's not my fault, and then that's that phrase, you're using it as an excuse. I fucking hate that phrase. Don't use it as an excuse. Like when you've got a fucking temper problem and people think that identifying it means that you're now more capable of actually controlling your temper because it's been identified. Oh, come on, you know what you're like. Which is not what anyone needs to hear when they're already beginning to lose their temper. It would make anyone lose their temper a bit more, saying, come on, this is just you and your silliness or whatever. But that's how people think they can deal with it. You know? Well, like when the woman that told me I really have to, you know, focus because I was talking too much. I know you can't help it, but, you know, when we're in here, I was thinking, what do you mean when we're in here? What do you mean? Just because, and in actual fact, yeah, I do communicate better one-to-one in a quiet room. She was right in that sense. But in terms of me automatically over-explaining things and stuff, good fucking luck with that shit, mate. I rarely fucking spot it. But yet, when it happens, it's always treated with an element of contempt and impatience. And that's not good when you've had the sort of been exposed to the energies that I've been continuously fucking exposed to, leading to that button, that schema that I've been working on trying to get rid of that gets fucking bleh. But then my whole day goes to shit. I can't think, you know, this was what was happening to me. The slight little comments or situations would just, my eyes, I'd feel them widen and I'd feel dizzy and I'd feel this like, and I was fucked for the day. I couldn't think straight for the rest of the day. That's the sort of shit that fucking happens. But, and it's that can, you know, it's the frustration of that leads to the poor temper control. But in a lot of ways, it's like, well, the temper control is a fucking brain chemical thing, and my brain chemicals don't function correctly. That's all of those feelings. They're just brain chemicals. You have to want to have the thought, and then the brain does the chemical thing. But, you know, society will always see, through its paradigms, someone who's just losing his shit, not keeping it together, isn't trying hard enough. Not even trying. That used to get me. You're not even trying. I mean, I'm not even fucking trying. You don't see how much I do try. And it's all the bits that fucking leak out the net. I'm then get accused of not even trying with. That's what I found. And that's why I decided the lid should come off. Fucking tell you what I'm fucking hiding. Tell me I'm not fucking trying. This is what's underneath all the time. And that, I need to shut up. But yeah, I'm embracing my mad a lot more. I'm embracing my mad. There's all sorts of wonkwidly shit flying around my head, and I'm barking it without upon my Facebook thus. That fucking character's peeked into my head a lot the last few days. But I don't even care. I was just outside the barber's and I was chatting and stuff, and I had my little magic wand in my hand, and I was dancing in my Lego shorts and stripy socks. And like every car was just looking at me and smiling as I went past, and I was just going, I sprinkle my magic wand of happiness upon thee. Sprinkling my magic happiness on magic happiness, that's what I'm going to call this video. Good day to you.